So what we're going to do now is deal with this particular error, and what we need to do is send back a header from our API to our client that has a CORS policy, so that our client knows it can trust the content that's being sent back from this particular server. And this will allow us to display the values on our page. So let's head back to VS Code, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to our startup class inside our API. So I'll just close down these open windows, and I'll just open up the startup.cs class, and remember Command P to go and search for a file. It's a good habit to get into, and it'll really speed you up rather than fishing the file you want out from the folder inside here. And what we need to do is there's two parts to this. First of all, we need to add CORS as a service, and then we need to add it as middleware. So this services part, the ordering is not so important inside here. And I'm just going to say services.add CORS in this case. And this is going to make the CORS service available so that we can use it as middleware. And what we add in here, like I say, the ordering really isn't important in here. I will add some kind of ordering later on because it's nicer to lay things out so that you as a developer can easily find what you're looking for. But the computer and the compiler doesn't care about the ordering inside here. But in this one, in the configure method, when it comes to our request pipeline, then ordering is extremely important. And in the case of using CORS, we need to write a response, a header response, into our request that we're sending back to the client. And we'll do this late on, but before the call to use MVC. So just above this, what we'll do is we'll say use CORS, and then we're going to define a CORS policy. So we'll add an expression. And what we can do inside this expression is we can add our rules to say what we're going to allow and send back as our headers. Now, because we're early on in this course, we're still developing our application. What we'll do is we'll just say allow any origin, and this will get us past the error that we were seeing before. What we'll also do is chain on some additional headers that we can provide, and we'll say allow any method, and we'll also say that we're going to allow any header. Now, this looks extremely weak, but this isn't actually really a problem, and it doesn't give us any actual security concerns. What we could do with the origin is be more specific, and we could say with origins, and then we could specify the address of our client application so that our API would allow our client application to receive the data from this particular API. But like I say, it's early on in the course, and we're just going to go with allow any origin for development purposes. And at the end of the course, we're going to take a closer look at security and then look at locking down our application. But please don't be concerned about the early stages where it looks like we're putting some pretty lax security policies in place. It's perfectly fine for development. And when it comes to publishing, that's when we'll take a closer look at what we're doing security-wise. So this is our CORS policy, and what you should have found is that your API server has restarted, and that should be the case. And what we can do is we can go back and just refresh our page, and we can see the errors have gone, and what we've got now is nothing inside our errors apart from just the normal Angular logging. But if we go to our network tab, and I'll just refresh the page, what we can see now is our values request is successful. If I take a look at the preview, I can see our 3 values being returned from our API server. And if we take a look at the headers, what we can see is that we now have inside our response headers, we have this access control allow origin. And this is what allows our browser to trust the data that's coming back from our API server. So now that we successfully have the data coming back from our server, what we'll do next is look at displaying this content on our Angular page.